Hi there, it's Gloria Evans from CKRM, Lewis and Evans, and you know what, this is going to be very interesting. The MS Society is a very important group here in Regina and of course in Saskatchewan. So we've got a couple of folks from the MS Society that are going to help me as we try on MS. Is that right?
That's right.
We've got Virginia Harper on one side and Dennis Patterson on the other. Virginia's going to be like Vanna and help me with some of the things that are going to simulate what happens when you have MS, or if you think that you may be a potential person that's going to have to talk to the MS Society about what can be done or the help that they have. So on the other side is Dennis, and Dennis is going to be working me over with some of these things I have to do. So what are we doing, folks?
So first off, MS has a lot of different symptoms, and we brought some different stuff to simulate some of the symptoms that MS patients deal with on a daily basis. The glove represents dexterity.
Okay.
So just doing up your shirt in the morning can be a challenge for people. So if you have problems,
First off, I got to find the buttons.
we should have put the other glove on you because you're right-handed.
Oh,
So you're
but still,
it's
there's
still it's tough to
It's
do,
tricky,
but
yeah.
we can have visual problems. We have sets of glasses that we can wear to simulate visual problems. Fatigue, chronic fatigue, is a very common symptom in MS, and so the longer the day goes on, the more fatigued you're going to get.
Right.
So things start getting heavy. So wearing a weight on your arm.
These weights on your wrist.
So by the end of the day, your arm might feel
Oh, that's tough.
5 pounds heavy,
Right.
or stuff, or it could be a leg, a lower
Oh,
limb,
sure.
a lower limb. So.
Well, you know, even with the rubber glove on and trying to do up shirt buttons, but if you're a guy and you're putting a tie on, like that's
Right.
pretty tough, right? Because even tying a tie at the best of times
Yeah,
is
exactly.
tough, right? Notice the man not wearing a tie.
Yeah.
So then if I'm working away, then this is, all of a sudden you're just
You're
feeling,
typing.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
so it's very important that we know our limitations and what we can do throughout the day, so we don't get tired or our arms or legs don't feel heavier by the end of the day.
And
So-
sometimes I guess somebody with MS may just start with one of these and then it'll blossom into
Well,
something
yeah,
else. Is that how?
that's usually the way it works. You might have one of these symptoms, you might have 3 or 4 symptoms.
Right.
Myself, I've been living with MS for 14 years now, and my only symptom really is chronic fatigue, and I get a bit of pain.
Yes.
But I know how to deal with those, and I know what brings that stuff on. So I can avoid those things to help manage those conditions better. And that's for most of these conditions, once we learn how to manage these symptoms.
That's the key, right?
It levies, yeah.
Now, on the table, we also have like flippers, and we've got glasses and all kinds of other crazy things, like these oven mitts. Now, is that just, again, a dexterity kind of thing?
Well,
that
we
you're
are
involved
using
with?
those for numbness, so you
Oh.
can't feel. So you might, the end of my thumbs are numb. So it really helps out because I'm a carpenter at home, and so when I hit my thumb, I don't have to invent new words.
But it could be dangerous.
But it can be dangerous. So if you have numbness and you're cooking, for instance, you're at
Okay.
home cooking a meal, and you grab a pot off the stove. And it's hot, you might not realize that and burn the skin in your
Oh,
hand.
right.
So numbness can play a very important part of symptoms in there.
Now, one of the other things that we kind of talked about off camera was why we have this big elastic band, and that is maybe something that's really hard to demonstrate.
It does, and it's kind of simulates spasticity, but spasticity is involuntary muscle movement. And it could be just a twitch.
Right.
It could be a muscle, I don't know, sometimes, and you don't have to have MS to get a twitch in your muscle
Well,
or
true
anything.
enough, or your eye when
Yeah,
you're,
or your
when
eye
you're fatigued.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it just represents spasticity, and spasticity in your legs and stuff can be really, hard to manage if you have muscle movements in your legs that you can't control and stuff.
So there are lots of things, and I think you folks for this day are encouraging people to maybe try some of these things and log on to the website, or
Yeah.
can they come down to the MS Society and
For
get
sh-
information?
For sure, they can. We're at 150 Albert Street, and our phone number is 522-5600. But yeah, if you're out shopping today and you're walking down the street, cover cover your eye with one hand, and just see what it's like to walk down the street with only one eye and stuff. So we're just and getting the awareness out there that people do have problems,
And that's sometimes not what you think.
and it's sometimes
Yeah.
not what you think, or balance issues. And I know we want to spin you
Oh.
around and get you dizzy. And
Do I need to put my hand on the bat and do it that way?
But-
Because people do that, right?
Yeah.
And they do it as a game. But imagine if that's the way you felt.
Yeah.
A lot of the time was you just
It is, and
just discombobulated. I
Yeah.
guess I'm going to say that. Discombobulated. There's your word of the day.
But vertigo and dizziness is another common symptom of MS. So, and these symptoms can come on without warning. So you might be out grocery shopping, and all of a sudden you're feeling dizzy, so you have to rest or sit down
Right.
and stuff. So, but they can disappear as fast as they appear too. So.
Wow.
It's not necessarily we're dealing with this 24 hours a day. Some people do, but you can just last for a minute or last for 5 minutes, and then everything clears up and away we go again. And it depends what you're doing. Heat will bring on a lot of symptoms in MS. So.
Well, we're getting to that time of the year where we're expecting all this heat for summer, right? So if you feel like you have any kind of symptoms or are concerned about MS in your family, this is a great time as any to find out. And again, Virginia, the website or where people can find you folks?
You can find out general information on mssociety.ca. If you go to mssociety.ca/sask, that's our local website, but you can find great information on the general one as well.
Okay, and
And
Dennis?
again, feel free to come visit us.
Yeah, they're awesome people, and I know that we have a lot of fun with you folks throughout the year helping to promote all your activities that you've got going on, from the bike tour to the walks, and of course to information like this, just to make sure that people know Saskatchewan does have a very high incident of MS, so we want everybody to be educated. So thanks, and I can imagine, it's just a start to see how it is living with these kinds of conditions and what a struggle it is. So thank you so much for coming by.
Well, thank you, and thanks CKRM for all the support throughout the year for us and Harvard Broadcasting. So it's very much appreciated. Thanks very much.
MS Society, check them out, and in the meantime, I think I'm going to be wearing these the rest of the day.